The Miracle Noodle, Part 2. A week of living together had made Shin Yuqing accustomed to the 5 a.m. alarm clock, to the stubborn flour that clung to her fingernails, even to the unpredictable temperatures of the public shower. But what she could never get used to was the strange flutter in her chest whenever Chang Imo smiled at her. That morning, as she was learning how to knead dough from Chang Imo, her phone suddenly buzzed. Seeing the name Lin Shiqing on the screen made her frown. "I need to take this call," she said, wiping her hands and stepping outside. "Yuqing, have you played enough yet?" came her fiancé's cold voice. "The board needs you to sign some papers. The Linshin partnership cannot be delayed." "I told you I need another week," she replied. "Just for that street vendor? Don't be naive. You two are from different worlds. My business is none of yours," Shin Yuqing snapped, hanging up. She took a deep breath to calm herself. When she turned around, she saw Chang Imo standing at the door holding 2 cups of warm soy milk. "Here, drink it while it's hot," he said, his eyes filled with concern. "Everything okay?" She shook her head and took the soy milk. The warmth sliding down her throat was just right, like Chang Imo himself, always taking care of her in just the right way. "Today, I'll teach you the secret to making broth," Chang Imo said gently, clearly trying to steer the topic away from the phone call. As the two were about to head out, a black car pulled up in front of the courtyard. 3 men in suits stepped out. The one in front, wearing gold-rimmed glasses, had the polished air of a corporate elite, but his eyes were as cold as a snake's. "Mr. Chang Imo?" the man asked with a smile that didn't reach his eyes. "I am. And you are?" Chang Imo instinctively moved to shield Shin Yuqing. "We're from Hanyuan Group's food division." He handed over a business card. "Our boss loves your noodles and would like to discuss a partnership." Shin Yuqing's eyes narrowed. Hanyuan Group was a rival to the Shin family and had recently entered the food industry. She subtly tugged Ching Mo's sleeve, signaling him to refuse. "Sorry, I'm just a small-time vendor." "There's nothing much to cooperate on," Chang Imo declined politely. The man's smile vanished. "I'm afraid you don't have a choice." With a glance, the 2 men behind him stepped forward and grabbed Chang Imo. "What are you doing?" Shin Yuqing shouted, only to be shoved aside. "Stay out of it, girl," the man in glasses sneered. "We're just inviting Mr. Chang to make a few bowls of noodles." Struggling, Chang Imo yelled, "Xiao, you run. Call the police." Shin Yuqing stood frozen. If she revealed her identity, the pure relationship between her and Chang Imo would be lost. But if she didn't act, Chang Imo could be in real danger. As the car started to drive off, she made her decision. "Stop right there." Her voice was commanding. She pulled out her phone and hit a speed dial. "Captain Lee, intercept a black Mercedes with license plate Jiang AXH328. I'm sending you the GPS. Someone has been abducted." The man in glasses froze. "You? Who are you?" Shin Yuqing stared at him coldly. "Shin Yuqing, Shin Group. Tell your boss Zhang that if he touches one of mine, he can forget about surviving in the food business." Within 5 minutes, 3 black SUVs roared in, surrounding the Mercedes. 8 bodyguards jumped out and took control of the scene. Chang Imo was rescued, his expression shifting from shock to confusion and finally to realization. "Xiao Yu." "No, President Shin," he said with a bitter smile. "I should have guessed." Shin Yuqing stepped forward, wanting to explain but at a loss for words. Chang Imo spoke first. "Thanks for saving me, but I think our apprentice game ends here." "Chang Imo, no need to explain," Chang Imo said, waving it off. "I get it. You came for your grandfather." As he walked away, Shin Yuqing realized something. She hadn't just come for her grandfather. That night, Shin Yuqing returned to the Shin family mansion, only to find she could no longer adapt to the luxury she once took for granted. She missed the humble courtyard, the fickle shower water, and most of all, the noodle boy who always smiled at her so gently. "I heard you activated emergency security today?" Shin Hongru summoned her to his study, eyes sharp with intelligence. "Was it for Chang Imo?" She nodded and explained everything briefly. "Interesting." The old man sipped his tea. "I did some digging. The Qingfeng vine in Chang Mo's broth. It's the same rare herb we at Shan Pharmaceuticals gave up developing 20 years ago." Shin Yuqing looked up sharply. "The one that caused village protests." "Exactly," Shin Hongru sighed. "Back then, we tried to monopolize herb resources by force buying land, causing local farmers to be displaced. The backlash shut the project down. It's been a thorn in my heart ever since." He rubbed his stomach. That thorn became the root of my anorexia. Shin Yuqing was stunned. So Ching Mo's noodles healed you not just because of the herb, but because he's the grandson of one of the very farmers we wronged, Shin Hongru continued. Fate has brought us together again in this strange way. The next morning, Shin Yuqing returned to Ching Mo's stall with a contract. He was packing up when he saw her and was visibly surprised. President Shin back to experience commoner life? He asked with a trace of sarcasm. She didn't mind and handed over the contract. I want to invest in your stall and start a chain. Chung Yimo glanced at the papers and shook his head. Thanks, but I like things as they are. It's not charity, it's a partnership, she said seriously. Your Qingfeng vine recipe is priceless, but I won't force you. We'll develop it together and share the profits. Chung Yimo looked at her, surprised. You know about Qingfeng vine? Not only that, I want to help you scale its cultivation. She flipped to the last page. Here's my plan. An ecological farm in your village to protect the endangered plant and boost local income. Ching Mo read through the contract, his expression softening. This was my grandfather's dream. And she took a deep breath. I want to apologize. Hiding my identity was wrong. But these 7 days were the most real in my life. Ching Mo was silent for a long moment, then gave her that familiar smile. All right, let's be partners. But on one condition. What is it? You have to stay on as my apprentice until you can make a perfect bowl of noodles. He winked. Surely the great President Shin can handle that? Shin Yuqing laughed, the sunlight catching her face like blooming flowers. Deal. 3 months later, the flagship store, Mo and Qing, opened downtown. The design blended traditional and modern styles. The signature dish was Ching Mo's ancestral beef noodles, but the menu featured a new item, heiress noodles, a flavor Shin Yuqing created during her training. On opening day, Shin Hongru personally cut the ribbon. Media outlets rushed to cover the business fairy tale born from a bowl of noodles. Most notably, Shin Group announced a strategic partnership with Mo and Qing to co-develop a line of herbal wellness foods. That night, after closing time, Chang Mo and Shin Yuqing sat in the empty store, each with a bowl of noodles before them. Try it, Chang Mo said, pushing his bowl forward. I improved it based on your suggestions. She took a bite, and her eyes lit up. Delicious. The broth is lighter, the noodles chewier, the beef. She stopped mid-sentence, having bitten into something hard. She spat it out and found a small silver token engraved with the words, "Noodles for you, for life." Cheng Mo, she cried, flustered and blushing furiously. Cheng Mo got down on one knee, looking serious. Shin Yuqing, I know I'm not worthy, but I want to spend the rest of my life cooking for you, warming your stomach and your heart. Will you give me a chance? Shin Yuqing looked at the man who had changed her life. Her eyes welled up. She picked up a noodle, slurped it down, then leaned in to kiss him softly. This bowl, she whispered, I'll eat it for a lifetime. Outside, the city lights sparkled like stars. Inside, 2 steaming bowls of noodles sat side by side, like their fates, entwined by one bowl of noodles and bound forever by sincerity. The end.